Brace yourselves for a spectacle that'll take you to a galaxy far, far away. In The Phantom Menace, interstellar intrigue and high-flying heroics are the dish of the day, and boy is this buffet overflowing. We begin on the peaceful planet of Naboo, where Queen Padme Amidala fights off a pesky Trade Federation blockade that's tighter than a pickle jar. Enter the Jedi. Noble Qui-Gon Jinn, wise as a library full of encyclopedias, and his young apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi, as sharp as a new razor and twice as trustworthy. Stranded on the desert world of Tatooine, our heroes bump into a pint-sized prodigy named Anakin Skywalker, a kid with enough nerve to race fancy pods at breakneck speed and enough heart to power 1,000 starships. Keep an eye on this one, folks. He might just have a destiny bigger than the galaxy itself. On the political stage, the sly Sheev Palpatine smiles sweetly while playing both ends against the middle. Meanwhile, Jar Jar Binks, a clumsy Gungan with a heart as big as his ears, tries not to trip over his own feet while helping out our heroes. As the stakes rise, the Jedi Council, featuring the no-nonsense Mace Windu and the pint-sized powerhouse Yoda, tries to make sense of a growing darkness. Humming along the journey are our beloved droids, loyal R2-D2, beeping with courage, and a just-assembled C-3PO. But every tale needs a villain, and here comes Darth Maul, a horn-headed nightmare with a dual-bladed lightsaber. When blades clash in a finale hotter than a Tatooine noon, the fate of Naboo, and perhaps the galaxy, hangs in the balance. Will Qui-Gon's faith in the boy Anakin prove well-founded? Can Padme outsmart the schemers in senatorial robes? Will Obi-Wan prove himself a true Jedi Knight? And will Jar Jar manage to stay upright for more than 5 minutes? Get ready for political intrigue, cosmic clashes, and a dazzling duel of destinies. The Phantom Menace is here to whisk you off your feet in glorious 1950s style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the cosmic caper of the century. Prepare for the cosmic spectacle attack of the clones. 10 years after the events of that Phantom Menace hullabaloo, the Republic's dealing with turmoil. Our story begins with a daring attempt on Senator Padme Amidala, a lady with poise, politics, and a knack for dodging blaster bolts. In swoop the Jedi Protectors, the wise-cracking Obi-Wan Kenobi, sporting a stylish new beard, and his headstrong apprentice Anakin Skywalker, who's grown taller than a Wookiee on stilts. Let's just say he's got a crush on Padme big enough to fill the Grand Canyon. Scandalous, right? Meanwhile, our old pal Jar Jar Binks is goofing around the Galactic Senate, and Sheev Palpatine, ever the politician, smiles sweetly as he maneuvers for more power. A new threat has emerged. Count Dooku, a rogue Jedi turned sinister separatist. He's got a brand new bag of tricks that'll make your head spin. Enter Obi-Wan, hot on the trail of a mysterious assassin who stumbles onto Kamino, a storm-lashed world churning out an army of clone troopers like an intergalactic assembly line. Meet Jango Fett, the slick gunslinger who provided the genetic blueprint for these clones. And guess who's by his side? A pint-sized Boba Fett, looking up to his dad with stars in his eyes and a blaster in his future. As Obi-Wan grapples with Jango, Anakin and Padme slip away to the romantic vistas of Naboo. Cue the forbidden feelings and secret kisses. But duty calls. Our heroes reunite on the dusty world of Geonosis, where Mace Windu enters the fray, purple lightsaber blazing, and Yoda proves that size matters not when it comes to a Jedi showdown. All the while, trusty droids R2-D2 and C-3PO bicker and blunder into trouble, adding a sprinkle of laughs to the tense battles ahead. With war looming and the clone army unleashed, the galaxy stands at a crossroads that'll shape its destiny for years to come. Will the Jedi keep the peace? Or will dark forces tip the scales? Who's really pulling the strings? Count Dooku, or that ever-so-pleasant Chancellor Palpatine? Buckle up for laser blasting battles, swirling lightsaber duels, and a forbidden romance that's hotter than twin suns at midday. Attack of the Clones has it all, folks, in glorious 1950s flair. Don't miss this interstellar extravaganza. Prepare for a galactic showdown of epic proportions. Revenge of the Sith plunges us straight into the flames of the Clone Wars, where laser fire lights the skies like the 4th of July. Leading the charge are our favorite Jedi duo, the ever-steadfast Obi-Wan Kenobi and the fiery Anakin Skywalker, whose star is about to burn a little too bright for comfort. Our story kicks off with a daring rescue of the kidnapped Chancellor. Yes, that charmer Sheev Palpatine, from the clutches of the villainous Count Dooku. Blades clash, sparks fly, and Anakin faces a choice that'll haunt him longer than a ghost in a spooky mansion. Enter General Grievous, a cyborg scoundrel who collects lightsabers the way some folks collect postage stamps. Meanwhile, our beloved Padme Amidala has a bun in the oven, which cranks up the stakes higher than a rocket-bound satellite. Anakin's torn between saving the galaxy and protecting the love of his life. All the while, Jar Jar Binks bumbles in the corridors of power, and Mace Windu and Yoda struggle to keep the Jedi Order from unraveling like a cheap sweater. But behind the scenes, Palpatine tightens his grip on the Republic, whispering sweet nothings of power in Anakin's ear. With each temptation, our young Skywalker slides closer to the dark side. When the final showdown arrives, it's on the fiery planet Mustafar, a place so scorching it'd melt the soles off your shoes. Here, Obi-Wan and Anakin clash in a duel that's hotter than any grill in the galaxy. Sparks fly, lightsabers whirl, and hearts break as brotherhood turns to betrayal. Overcome by rage and twisted promises of power, Anakin meets a fate worse than defeat. Left scarred and broken, he rises again, but no longer as Anakin Skywalker. Darth Vader is born amid the smoke and flames, a fearsome figure in black armor that'll haunt the galaxy for generations. Meanwhile, Palpatine unveils his true colors as Darth Sidious, the puppet master behind every dark deed. With a malicious grin and lightning crackling at his fingertips, he cements his rule as Emperor of a new galactic empire. Tune in for the tragedy and triumph, served 1950s style with blaring trumpets, sizzling suspense, and enough heartbreak to fill a whole Jedi temple. Revenge of the Sith. Witness the fall of a hero, the rise of an empire, and the birth of a legend in black. Gather round, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare for a space adventure that's out of this world. In a galaxy far, far away, where laser swords clash and starships dash, an epic tale unfolds that'll have you on the edge of your seat. Meet Luke Skywalker, a humble farm boy dreaming of joining the Rebel Alliance and sticking it to the evil empire that's got the galaxy in a stranglehold tighter than Aunt Beru's apron strings. When he stumbles upon two peculiar droids, R2-D2, a beeping bucket of bolts with a mission, and C-3PO, a golden chatterbox who worries too much, Luke's life takes a warp speed turn. The droids carry a desperate plea from none other than Princess Leia, a fearless leader with a crown of buns and nerves of steel. She's been captured by the sinister Darth Vader, a dark lord who breathes like he's got a vacuum cleaner stuck in his helmet and a temper shorter than a Tatooine sunset. Alongside Grand Moff Tarkin, a villain so cold he could freeze the suns, they've got a planet-busting battle station called the Death Star. Enter Obi-Wan Kenobi, a wise old hermit with more tricks up his sleeve than a magician at a county fair. He introduces Luke to the Force, an energy field that binds the galaxy together. Obi-Wan might be old, but he's no slouch when it comes to lightsaber skills. In need of a fast ship and a faster talker, they enlist Han Solo, a smuggler with swagger, charm, and a debt to a slug-like gangster that's bigger than his ego. His co-pilot? Chewbacca, a towering Wookiee who's equal parts loyalty and fur, with a roar that could make a lion jealous. Their ship, the Millennium Falcon, might look like a rusty bucket, but she's got it where it counts. As they zoom across the stars, our heroes hatch a daring plan to rescue the princess and stop the Death Star. But things heat up when they find themselves trapped on the very space station they're trying to destroy. Can Luke shoot straight enough to bullseye a wump rat? Will Han Solo find his conscience? With epic duels, thrilling dogfights, Star Wars brings you heroes to cheer for, villains to boo at, and a story that'll light up your imagination brighter than a supernova. So strap in, folks. This space opera is blasting off in glorious Panavision 70. Don't miss Star Wars, the saga that'll make you believe in the Force. Prepare yourselves for a cosmic adventure that'll take you to galaxies far, far away. In The Empire Strikes Back, the saga continues with more twists and turns than a hyperspace jump gone wrong. Our hero, Luke Skywalker, fresh from blowing up the Death Star, is now part of the Rebel Alliance, hiding out on the icy planet of Hoth. Alongside him are the ever-resourceful Princess Leia and Han Solo. But don't get too cozy. Darth Vader, the galaxy's most menacing man in a helmet, is hot on their trail. With a fleet of Star Destroyers at his command, he's determined to capture the rebels. After a close encounter with a Wampa, a deadly snow beast, Luke gets a ghostly visit from his old pal Obi-Wan Kenobi. Luke heads off to the swamp planet of Dagobah in search of a mysterious Jedi Master who turns out to be a tiny green creature with grammar that could use a tune-up. Meanwhile, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and the ever-bickering droids R2-D2 and C-3PO are on the run. Dodging asteroids the size of small moons and hiding in space slugs, their journey is anything but smooth sailing. Han and Leia's romantic tension could fuel a starship, but there's no time for smooching when you're being chased by the entire Imperial fleet. Enter Lando Calrissian, suave as a Corellian cat and as trustworthy as a used land speeder salesman. He offers our heroes refuge in the fancy Cloud City. But watch out. Vader and the notorious bounty hunter Boba Fett have set a trap. As Han faces a frosty fate in Carbonite, Luke arrives, only to find himself in a lightsaber duel with Vader. Just when you think things can't get any crazier, Vader drops a bombshell about Luke's family that leaves him needing some serious counseling. With his hand missing and his world turned upside down, Luke must grapple with this shocking revelation. Will he join the dark side, or stay true to the Jedi path? Can Leia, Chewie, and Lando rescue Han from Boba Fett's clutches? The Empire Strikes Back will leave you gasping for air. The fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance, and this is one adventure you won't want to miss. May the Force be with you. Prepare yourselves for the thrilling climax of an epic saga that'll take you to the stars and back. In Return of the Jedi, our heroes face their greatest challenges yet. When last we saw them, Han Solo was frozen in Carbonite and held captive by the notorious gangster Jabba the Hutt. Determined to rescue their favorite scoundrel, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and the ever-quirky droids hatch a daring plan. The evil Empire is constructing a new Death Star, bigger and badder than ever. The sinister Emperor himself oversees the operation, with Darth Vader lurking in the shadows. Luke returns to Dagobah for one last lesson from Yoda, who shares some family secrets that'll make you rethink your next family reunion. Meanwhile, the rebels gear up for an all-out assault. Han leads a ground team to the forest moon of Endor. Princess Leia joins him, proving she can handle a blaster as well as any of the boys. On Endor, they meet the Ewoks, adorable teddy bear-like creatures. Don't let the cute faces fool you. These little warriors pack a punch. In the skies above, Lando Calrissian takes the helm of the Millennium Falcon, ready to dive into the fray with style, cape fluttering and all. But the heart of the tale lies in the ultimate face-off between Luke and Darth Vader. Father and son duel with lightsabers flashing brighter than a supernova, with the Emperor watching on with a wicked grin. Will Luke resist the dark side's temptation, or will family ties pull him into Vader's shadow? As battles rage in space and on the ground, explosions light up the cosmos like the galaxy's biggest fireworks display. Chewbacca roars into action, and Han and Leia's banter hints at a romance that's been simmering hotter than twin suns. Will the rebels destroy the Death Star before it spells their doom? Can the Ewoks turn the tide with sticks, stones, and a whole lot of heart? Presented in glorious Panavision 70, it's a cinematic experience that's truly out of this world. A finale that'll leave you cheering, gasping, and maybe even shedding a tear. So grab your popcorn, because this is one adventure you won't want to miss. May the Force be with you, always. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, for a triumphant return to that galaxy far, far away. In The Force Awakens, we find ourselves decades after the fall of the Empire. But don't get too cozy, because evil never takes a vacation, and the galaxy's got a new batch of bad apples cooking up mischief. Meet Rey, a resourceful scavenger on the sandy planet Jakku. She's searching for scraps just to get by, but Destiny's got bigger plans for this gal than fixing up old junkers. Meanwhile, Finn, a stormtrooper who decides that tyranny's not exactly his cup of tea, makes a daring escape and crosses paths with ace pilot Poe Dameron, whose charm and courage would make a lounge singer blush. Together, they find themselves caught in a cosmic tug-of-war between right and wrong. Out to cause a galactic rumpus is the dreaded First Order, fronted by the masked menace Kylo Ren, who's got a temper hotter than a jalopy's engine after a long road trip. His boss, none other than Supreme Leader Snoke, lurking in the shadows like a radio announcer who never shows his face. General Hux barks orders with all the subtlety of a drill sergeant on a triple espresso. On the flip side, the good guys now rally under the Resistance, led by none other than Princess Leia, still regal and resolute, trying to restore peace to a galaxy teetering on a knife's edge. Enter the old crowd favorites, the scruffy pirate Han Solo, sporting more gray hairs and the same roguish grin, and his hairy co-pilot Chewbacca. They team up with Rey and Finn to get a message-packed droid named BB-8 to the Resistance. Our metal pal C-3PO joins in the fun too, while the wise old smuggler Maz Kanata dishes out advice like a fortune teller at a county fair. Everyone's wondering, where, oh where, is Luke Skywalker? The famed Jedi is missing in action, and the galaxy's hope might hinge on finding him before Kylo Ren and his cronies spread darkness like butter on hot toast. Strap in for starship dogfights that'll have your heart racing, lightsaber duels brighter than a neon diner sign, and twists that'll knock you off your seat. The Force Awakens. It's got thrills, chills, and a whole lot of heart, all served up 1950s style with a wink, a grin, and a glimmer of that old Star Wars magic. In a galaxy far, far away, the fight between good and evil rages on. Welcome to The Last Jedi, where heroes rise, villains scheme, and ancient Jedi legends take center stage. Our story begins with the Resistance, led by the indomitable Princess Leia, a woman who can take on the galaxy with a blaster in one hand and hope in the other. But the First Order, led by the sneering General Hux, isn't about to let her win without a fight. Their dreadnoughts loom large and their stormtroopers march on. Can the Resistance survive? Only time will tell. On a remote island, the once great Luke Skywalker is having a Jedi crisis. Rey has his lightsaber and a lot of questions. She's determined to bring Luke back into the fight, but he's more interested in brooding. Can she convince him to face his destiny? Or will the secrets of her own mysterious past get in the way? Meanwhile, Kylo Ren, the galaxy's angriest space goth, is torn between the dark side, his sinister boss, Supreme Leader Snoke, and maybe a little crush on Rey. With his temper as fiery as his lightsaber, he's out to prove he's no Vader wannabe. Back with the Resistance, hotshot pilot Poe Dameron is causing trouble for everyone, including the no-nonsense Vice Admiral Holdo, who has a secret plan up her shimmering lavender sleeve. Finn, the stormtrooper-turned-hero, teams up with spunky mechanic Rose Tico to take down the First Order from the inside. Add in a codebreaker with a questionable moral compass. DJ, slick but slippery, and you've got yourself a daring mission, complete with exploding ships and a casino planet that's equal parts glitz and chaos. And who could forget the sidekicks? There's Chewbacca, fuzzy and fierce, who's dealing with some porg problems. Those squawking little critters are cute, but they're not exactly co-pilots. Plus, trusty droids BB-8, R2-D2, and C-3PO are back, rolling, beeping, and blundering their way through the action. Will Luke Skywalker step up as the Jedi hero we all remember? Will Rey resist Kylo Ren's dark allure? And will the Resistance find a way to escape the First Order's relentless pursuit? Find out in The Last Jedi, a tale of sacrifice, redemption, and lightsaber duels that'll leave you on the edge of your seat. It's a roller coaster of emotions, packed with action, humor, and just the right amount of force-powered drama. Coming soon to a theater near you. In a galaxy far, far away, the final chapter of the Skywalker saga is here. The rise of Skywalker brings action, intrigue, and more space drama. Rey, our brave and unstoppable hero, is still grappling with her destiny and her Jedi powers. With the ghosts of the past and a few literal ones guiding her, Rey's journey leads to a shocking discovery. She's connected to none other than the villainous Emperor Palpatine. That's right, he's back, wrinklier and more cackly than ever, plotting his ultimate revenge from a hidden lair. How does he keep coming back? Nobody knows, but it's creepy. And speaking of creepy, Kylo Ren, or should we say Ben Solo, is still torn between the light and the dark. Will he embrace his heroic side or keep smashing helmets in a dark corner somewhere? His force bond with Rey gets even stranger, and trust us folks, the sparks are flying. Will they fight, flirt, or save the galaxy together? Meanwhile, the Resistance is back in action. Poe Dameron, the galaxy's most reckless pilot, teams up with his loyal buddy Finn and the ever-adorable BB-8 for one last mission to save the galaxy. They're joined by fan favorites like Chewbacca, C-3PO, who's having a bit of an existential crisis, and the mysterious smuggler Zori Bliss, who knows her way around a blaster and a secret. But it's not all fun and games. The First Order, now under the shadowy thumb of Palpatine, has new tricks up its sleeve. General Hux is as sneering as ever, but his loyalty takes a surprising turn. And let's not forget the fleet of Star Destroyers with planet-killing lasers, because of course they have those. Helping our heroes along the way are familiar faces like the charming Lando Calrissian, who's back with a cape and a smile, and wise old Maz Kanata, who always seems to know more than she lets on. The stage is set for a final, earth-shaking showdown between Rey and Palpatine. Light and dark, hope and despair. Will Rey rise to the challenge and forge her own path? Can the Resistance defeat the First Order once and for all? And will Poe ever stop crashing his ships? Don't miss the rise of Skywalker. It's an adventure packed with heart, humor, and enough lightsaber duels to make your popcorn shake. Coming soon to a theater near you. Grab your tickets and prepare for the ultimate thrill ride.